the frequency of sound holds many mysteries to it, and there are many misconceptions that people tend to believe and ignore some others. First of all, let's dive into 4-3-2 hertz that we tune our A note on guitar or whichever instrument we are using. And many people are advocating the theory that this is the right way how to play music, this is the right sound that harmonizes the soul and the body. But it has nuances to it. It's not black and white as many people tend to believe. Like in this modern world, that are you a follower of Trump or Kamala? It's black and white. But life is colorful, life is beautiful. Yesterday I was in a green energy conference, and there is a lot of nuance, for example, on solar and wind energy. Are they actually sustainable? Are they actually destroying the forests and many natural materials? And are they using slave labor? And how is the utilization or post usage of their lifespan? What will you do with that technology when it does not work anymore? So green energy is not as black and white as people tend to think about it. It has got a lot of nuances and how sustainable it really is. I could say that maybe nuclear power, atomic energy is more sustainable than wind turbines and solar panels. And then we come back to the frequency, the 432 Hz. So, for example, I have gongs that have been attuned to the frequency of the Earth year around the Sun, and the principal tone is the A tone there in 432 Hz. So that Earth gong shows that the Earth frequency is potentially 432 Hz. But some people go fanatical when they hear 440 or something else. But for example, I am a singer, and when I sing, I prefer to sing higher notes. So my A note could be tuned to 444 or 450. It's more easier for me to sing upon it, and still I can create beautiful shapes and beautiful figures through my intention. And when we use cymatics, the art of converting the frequency into shape or a matter, usually it is done upon a cauldron where you place sand and then you vibrate it with different frequencies, and you can see beautiful shapes occurring through the manipulation of frequencies through music. So that's one of the conceptions, that is the sound good or bad? It's neither of it. You can just use different properties of the sound on different occasions. Simple as that. We can also look into the intention behind the music. For example, pop music is quite often filled with those lame love songs that carry sadness and grief within them, or the feeling of inferiority, that I love you but you left me last Christmas, I gave you my heart but you never gave me yours, whatever. So many pop songs are just miserable love songs. But when you are listening to them each day and you are programming your mind that your spouse or your desired partner neglects you, then you are just taking yourself a program of misery. If you get this emotion, oh, life is so bittersweet. But when you are going through an emotion, when you are going through a hard emotion and you start listening to the pop music or to certain love songs that are supporting you through your goals. It's different. Same is that some people, when they go to the gym or they do sport, they listen to metal music to energize themselves. Or when I'm driving in a car, it's nice to listen to metal because I just don't fall asleep when I'm driving a car. Simple as that. But if I listen to metal every single day and I'm worshipping the god of metal, then probably I am programming my mind and my soul into worshipping some kind of a darkness and just having those negative emotions in my body. That is not so good. But same that we can say that we can use the power of our own voice and the power of our own intention through music or through the sound that we emit ourselves. All our thoughts are actually intentions and frequencies that we are sharing with the world. So we must be really conscious about it, but we do not have to be over controlling. We do not have to control everything. We do not have to manipulate ourselves. We must be gentle and aware what is going on actually in our souls, in our minds, in our spirit, and we can make those subtle changes. There were perpetual choirs in the ancient Celtic world. Perpetual choir means that at least 12 members of a choir were singing in the ley lines or the power points of certain regions 24/7. So I could say that, for example, 4 or 5 hours some member of the choir was singing, and then came someone else and replaced that member. So they were always holding the frequency through the sound to hold the consciousness of a landmass. That's why it's important to sing on a ley line or in a sacred place to vibrate the ground. And that goes back to the topic of wind turbines, as they are emitting infrasound that is dangerous for animals, for people, making stress in the delta brain in the delta brain waves. That just happens. But the same thing is that we can positively manipulate large areas of land and hold the consciousness. For example, the Roman expansion through the Celtic lands happened by eliminating the sacred choirs who were holding the vibration and singing over there. That information comes from John Mitchell. I really suggest reading his works. That's just so poetic and mystic and gives this sense of being a great shepherd over the premises, over the land that we are actually living, that we emit a frequency, and when we sing we emit a consciousness that we can hold a consciousness. We can support the living systems, we can support the harmony in our environments. I had the studio and I had my gongs over there. Gongs was big instrument, and I gave a permission to my friend. Oh yeah, come and use it. And he came to the studio with a friend who was in a really, I could say, in a bad state and was listening to really dark music, etc. And she played over there the gongs, and I did not know. I just came to the studio next day and saw all the walls, they seem so dark. It's so bad. It's so hard to be over here. What's going on? And so I went and played the gongs, so the walls cleared up, everything became so bright. And then I asked from my friend, did you have someone with you who played the gong? Yeah, of course, I had this friend and she played, and then I realized, wow, that was true emitment of frequency. That was a manipulation of a room in a negative way. You can manipulate a room in a positive way as well. So the sounds, they give so many different meanings and purposes to our own intention. So we must be really aware of all the things. When we emit a frequency, we must be aware of our own intentions. Otherwise, the world collapses and we ourselves are in a chaos that we cannot handle our own emotions or feelings or our own well-being. And same goes what we are thinking every single day. Oh shit, oh blah blah blah. Or are we being in a positive mood? And I'm not saying in a fake American way, oh hi friend, or oh I love you. No, I do not mean insincere people. I was in this sound healing course with a really famous teacher who was talking about stuff, and we were sitting on the chairs, and I have got famously ADHD and I cannot sit on a chair for 4 hours. So I stand up and I go sit on the corner on the floor, and she asked like, you do not like what I'm talking about, you don't like me. And I'm like, no, of course not, I like you, I just cannot sit for such long period of time, it's just physically so hard for me. And I decided to sit in the corner so to ease the back pain and the nervousness in my body. And she decided to throw me out from the course. That was so funny for me. And I was okay, at least give me a refund. And I did not get the refund neither. But it was important lesson for me. For me to start respecting always people who come to my sessions and to my courses, that I let them be whoever or whatever they desire to be. I try not to dictate them. Of course, it can sometimes happen that I'm not aware of it, so that's my mistake. But that situation taught me the compassion towards other people, to understand that they all have different special needs and they all have to be respected in their own special manners. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and goodbye.